Picture this. You meet someone and something about it feels different. Not just attraction, not just curiosity, but intensity. It pulls you in fast. Conversations feel effortless. Eye contact lingers a second too long. You feel seen, almost exposed. And somewhere inside, a quiet voice whispers, "This matters." But just as quickly as it begins, something shifts. They pull back. They go cold. Or maybe you do. Suddenly, what felt certain becomes confusing. You replay every message, every moment, trying to decode what went wrong. And the more it hurts, the more you want them. The more distant they become, the more attached you feel. This is where most people misunderstand relationship psychology, because what you're experiencing is not random. It's not bad luck. And it's definitely not just chemistry. It's something deeper, something darker. This is where love psychology intersects with what many call dark psychology in relationships, the hidden forces that draw you toward what hurts you most. And if you don't understand it, you'll keep repeating the same patterns, just with different faces. Let's get into it. At the core of these intense relationship dynamics is a paradox. You are not just attracted to what feels good, you are attracted to what feels familiar. And familiarity doesn't always mean healthy. If your early emotional experiences were inconsistent, if love felt unpredictable, conditional, or unstable, then your nervous system learned something very specific. Love equals uncertainty. So when you meet someone stable, calm, and emotionally available, it might feel boring. There's no tension, no urgency, no emotional spike. But when you meet someone unpredictable, hot and cold, intense and distant, it activates something inside you. Your body recognizes the pattern, even if your mind doesn't. And that recognition creates attraction. This is one of the most misunderstood attraction secrets. Your strongest pull is often toward what reinforces your deepest emotional conditioning, not what heals it. Now let's go deeper. According to Jungian psychology, every person carries a shadow, the parts of themselves they've rejected, denied, or hidden away. This includes insecurity, fear of abandonment, emotional neediness, even suppressed anger. You don't walk around consciously aware of these traits. But they don't disappear. They live beneath the surface, shaping your choices, especially in relationships. And here's where it gets interesting. You are often drawn to people who embody your shadow, not consciously, but psychologically. If you've suppressed your own emotional needs, you may be drawn to someone who is emotionally unavailable, because it reflects your own inner disconnection. If you've buried your sense of worth, you may find yourself chasing someone who makes you feel like you have to earn their love. If you've learned to equate love with struggle, you will feel most alive in relationships that are difficult. This is not coincidence. This is projection. In love psychology, we don't just fall for people, we project onto them. We assign meaning, fantasy, and emotional significance that often has very little to do with who they actually are. At the beginning, this feels magical. They seem perfect, aligned, almost too good to be true. That's because, in a sense, they are. You're not seeing them clearly. You're seeing your own inner image reflected back at you. But reality always breaks through eventually. They disappoint you. They pull away. They act in ways that don't match the version of them you created in your mind. And that's when the pain hits. Not just because of what they did, but because the illusion collapses. This is where dark psychology in relationships becomes visible, because instead of stepping back and questioning the dynamic, most people double down. They chase harder. They try to win the person back. They become more invested in someone who is giving them less. Why? Because the rejection activates something deeper than the present moment. It touches the original wound. That feeling of I'm not enough, that fear of being abandoned, that belief that love must be earned. So now, it's no longer just about this person. It's about proving something to yourself. If I can make them love me, then I am worthy. And that's where the cycle becomes dangerous, because the more you chase someone who withholds, the more you reinforce the idea that love requires struggle. And the more you reinforce that belief, the more you'll be attracted to people who confirm it. This is how relationship dynamics repeat themselves. Different person, same emotional experience. Now let's flip the perspective for a moment. Why do people pull away when things get intense? Because the same forces are operating on both sides. Just as you are drawn to what activates your wounds, they are too. When a connection becomes emotionally intense, it doesn't just bring closeness, it brings exposure. It reveals fears, vulnerabilities, parts of themselves they may not be ready to face. So instead of leaning in, they retreat. Not necessarily because they don't feel something, but because they feel too much. This is one of the most important insights in relationship psychology. Distance is not always a lack of interest. Sometimes it's a defense mechanism. But here's the problem. When one person pulls away, the other often pursues. And that creates a dynamic that feeds itself. The more one distances, the more the other chases. The more the other chases, the more the first feels overwhelmed and pulls further away. This push-pull pattern is one of the most addictive forms of attraction. Because it creates intermittent reinforcement, you get moments of closeness followed by distance, attention followed by silence. And psychologically, this is one of the most powerful ways to create attachment. Stronger than consistency, stronger than stability, it keeps you hooked, waiting for the next moment of connection, hoping things will go back to how they felt in the beginning. But they rarely do, because the beginning wasn't reality, it was projection. So what does this mean for you? It means that attraction alone is not a reliable guide. Just because you feel drawn to someone doesn't mean they're right for you. In fact, in many cases, the strongest attraction signals the deepest unresolved patterns. And if you're not aware of that, you'll keep mistaking emotional intensity for compatibility. So the real question is not why am I attracted to them? The real question is, what is this attraction trying to show me about myself? Because every relationship is a mirror. It reflects your beliefs, your wounds, your patterns. If you feel anxious, insecure, constantly seeking validation, it's not just about them. It's about what's being activated within you. And this is where growth begins. Not by changing the other person, not by trying to control the outcome, but by turning inward, by recognizing your patterns, by questioning your assumptions about love, by learning to sit with discomfort instead of chasing relief. Because here's the truth most people avoid. The opposite of unhealthy attraction is not disconnection. It's awareness. When you become aware of your patterns, you stop being controlled by them. You start choosing differently. You start valuing consistency over intensity, peace over chaos, clarity over confusion. And at first, that might feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable, because it doesn't trigger the same emotional highs. But over time, it becomes something deeper, something stable, something real. So if you find yourself drawn to someone who hurts you, don't just ask how to fix the situation. Ask what it's revealing, because hidden inside that attraction is a blueprint, a map of your inner world. And once you understand it, you don't just change your relationships, you change yourself. And that's where everything begins to shift.